Hey investors, this is the October 2022 update for Project 1 million. The project has not been going well, especially this year. We are at an all-time low. The portfolio has dropped nearly 45% plus. It's a depressing time for the portfolio. But on the bright side, stocks are looking cheaper. We're buying more stocks, especially in the last few weeks. I made some mistakes. I think I definitely need to learn more to be a better investor. I think leverage was one of the mistakes. Investing in not high quality companies was another mistake. Not selling maybe at overvalued valuations, perhaps another mistake as well. Let's take a look at the portfolio in more detail. So this is what the portfolio looks like at the moment. Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Intuitive. These are our top holdings as they have been for I think nearly the entire duration of the project. Together they make up about 52% of the portfolio, so more than half of the portfolio. And then our other holdings, which are Visa, MasterCard, Apple, Alibaba and Adobe. So these holdings together make up about 70% of the portfolio. So these top 9 holdings make up a large chunk of the portfolio. So let's go down. Before that, maybe let's comment a little about these top holdings. So Amazon, Alphabet have fallen quite a lot. Meta has fallen the most. Intuitive has also fallen a lot. I think most of these stocks are at their 52-week low at the moment. And they've fallen nearly 20, 30, in some cases, I think in Meta's case, I think at least 60%. Alibaba also probably more than 60%. Adobe has fallen quite a lot in recent weeks, especially because of its planned acquisition of another company. So, I mean, I think that the acquisition is probably good for the future. I believe in management's vision for the company. Maybe they're overpaying, but if it helps to sustain their competitive advantage for the next decade, maybe it's not a price too much. So we'll see about that. But I still think that Adobe is a high quality company, and if it falls much further, I may add more to it. So these are the other holdings we have: Autodesk, Booking, and so on. Nike fell a lot, I think yesterday. Upwork, Teladoc, Boeing also has fallen a lot. PayPal's fallen quite a lot as well. These are the other companies we have. These are some of the mistakes. Amrel, too many put options on Amrel. You can see the other holdings here as well. Carnival, another mistake. Too many put options. One put option on Carnival, but it was one too much, I think. You can see the other holdings. So I know I've already gone too much on selling put options, I think, but I still believe that there's still some value in some of these companies, and that I think there is a good chance of recovering some losses on some of those put options, especially with companies like Teladoc, PayPal. I might sell another one on Baozun. Yeah, I think maybe those are the ones. On Intel as well. So these are the other holdings we have. big commerce is another mistake. Invite, a huge mistake. As you can see the other holdings we have. I'm buying a little bit of Micron. I'll probably keep buying as it falls. You can take a look at the other holdings we have here. So a lot of small positions just to get a feel of the company, get some skin in the game. Peloton also another big mistake. So I bought a little Kawana. Bought some of Warner Brothers Discovery. These are all very small positions, so they won't move the portfolio. So right now we are using margin. We are negative in cash, and the portfolio value is about $209,000 US dollars. So you can look at performance. So this year has been terrible. I don't know where I went wrong. I think, well, I do sort of know where I went wrong. I think I used too much leverage, and like I said in the intro, invested in low quality companies. Got a bit arrogant, I think, after performing quite well for 3 years, and all it takes is just 1 year to wipe out a lot of those gains. So always be humble and always keep learning, and don't gamble. I think those are the key lessons. So you can see that right now we're underperforming the S&P 500. So for a large part of the life of this portfolio, we have been outperforming the S&P 500, and that was the entire objective. But now we are underperforming, and underperforming by quite a large margin. If you, take out the leverage is 4.5, so that's a big deficit compared to what the S&P 500 is doing. Although I think, because the market has been in a continuous downtrend over this year, that's why the losses have been magnified, and especially the option contracts. And if the market does recover, then I think we might get level with the S&P 500 in the future. But I think it's still a long way before we start outperforming the S&P 500 again. So let's look at the history of the portfolio over the last 3 months, because I haven't done an update for about 3 months, since July. So going forward, I'll probably only do quarterly updates as well. So hopefully by the next update, which will be early next year, I think the portfolio would have recovered quite a bit. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So anyway, this might be quite long because I'm going to go through 3 months worth of history. I've always shown whatever goes on in the portfolio from day one, so this should continue. So bought some stocks here, you can see that. I'll just run through this pretty quickly. Sold a put option on this company. I think this one is a pretty good deal. I don't think this will come back to haunt me. I added some cash for the first time, as you can see here. Probably a mistake. I think I shouldn't have added the cash. I added it because of a bad options trade with the Alibaba. So anyway, here is other things that went on with the portfolio. The stock split. Bought this option contract on Bumble. Mandatory reorganization fee. I don't know what this is about. I think this is some, maybe it happens upon the takeover. I think there was a takeover here, but it doesn't make much difference. It seems it wiped out whatever acquisition price I got or proceeds I got. So anyway, let's move on. So you can see that I've been holding a negative cash balance for quite a long time already. Margin, been starting to pay margin interest as well. Sold another put option over here. probably another mistake. I think this is not a good company from what I've seen so far. Okay, so some dividends. This was a bad one, got assigned in VT. I'll show you what I'm doing with the other put options. I've been I could say postponing them to next year. So I'll talk a little more about that later on. So you can see what else is going on here. Bought a little of Intel. Intel has fallen quite a lot. Margin, you can see the margin interest fees going up. Expected to go much higher this month. So I bought some Salesforce, Silicon Motion. This one should be acquired, I think. So that's the bet that I'm making over there. Sold the eToro SPAC since the SPAC is not going to happen. Sold some put option, yeah, okay. You can see you pay a ADR fee on some of the OTC counters. Bought back this put option. Bought Warner Brothers. Bought Meta. Sold some Meta puts. Sold Invite. Call. This is a covered call option. So those stocks that have been assigned, I will probably try to sell them. Make some money first through covered call options and then eventually sell them if they recover. Got assigned a Teladoc contract. I decided to keep these shares. I could have just sold them off, but I decided to keep them. So you can see here, I've been selling put options for next year and then closing the put options that were supposed to close in Jan of 2023. So that buys me more time. So hopefully that these stocks recover by 24. So some of them may not get assigned, so I may not have to, lose more money. So that's what you see. That's all the activity that's going on over here. So there are probably a few more option contracts that I will postpone. And I say postpone, I mean hopefully they don't get assigned, although these put options can get assigned anytime. So even if I postpone it to the expiry date to Jan 24, they could get assigned anytime, like what happened with Invite, right? Invite was supposed to expire in Jan 23, but it got assigned much earlier because it fell so much. So if these stocks fall a lot, then they could get assigned anytime. So that's a big risk that I need to take care of. The margin for this account might go quite high. It might go to 20,000-30,000 if all those put options get assigned, if the market keeps on collapsing. So that's a big risk that I need to be aware of. So you can see that's what I've been doing. So my strategy for put options right now is to sell very unlikely to assign kind of put options, so that for example, selling Bumble at a strike price of $5 and get $45 for that. So I get a lower amount of premium, but the risk is much lower. So I sold another one on PayPal. I'm making a big bet on PayPal in terms of the put options. So hopefully that doesn't backfire. You can see I sold more put options over here. So for Upwork, for example, the strike price I'm selling at 7.5 I think that's unlikely that Apple goes amplified, but you never know. So you can see you paid more margin interest, $20 in September. So it's been increasing, right, the margin amount. But I think as long as I can just make some money through selling some very unlikely to assign put options, then I can probably cover the margin cost. This is a long-term portfolio anyway. I'm not going to withdraw money from here for the next 3 to 5 years. So I think over the next 3 to 5 years, some of these stocks can recover. So here is the mess that I'm in. You look at all these put options. So there's still a lot that's going to expire on Jan 23, and some of these might get assigned, so I may have to postpone them. You can see that I've been postponing to Jan 24, and there's some even out in Jan 25. But I think many of these will not actually get assigned. They're very low probability, so this should be pretty safe, and I will be definitely more careful in terms of how I use put options going forward in this portfolio. So finally, let's take a look at the performance compared to the other benchmarks and the other fund managers around the world. So you can see that ARK Invest is probably done not so good this year. Let me toggle to year to date just to make sure it's year to date. So I think they're down about 60%. Not sure why. Okay, let me toggle down to year to date again. Okay, I think this should be accurate. So at Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company, is down only about 10%. The S&P is down about 25%, nearly 25%. Acre Focus Fund is down about 28.8%. The triple Q is down 31% plus, so we are doing much worse. So we are 38 to 45, right, with leverage. Scottish Mortgage is down 42. Barron Fifth Avenue Fund is down 46. Berkshire Focus, I think 50 plus, and ARK is the worst performing. So we're way off the benchmarks, and so it's been a very disappointing performance. I don't know what to say. I mean, I think we made a couple of mistakes. That's all I can say. I mean, so hopefully when the market recovers, I think we will also recover strongly. And I believe that, especially with some of the companies we have, they're very high qualities. I totally underestimated, I think, the impact of interest rates and impact of rising interest rates. With the treasuries now yielding about 4%, I can understand why people will not invest in stocks and will invest in treasuries, get a guaranteed 4%. It's not for me. I think maybe as it goes to 5 or 6%, I think then it makes sense, especially with the withholding tax. But I mean, I still believe in equities. I think they will recover strongly. This Fundsmith's down about minus 16% plus. At one time, I removed Berkshire Hathaway and Fundsmith from the monthly comparison, or now it's going to be a quarterly comparison, because I thought they won't do as well as my Project 1 Million fund. I was very wrong, and so I think I got a bit arrogant as well. So those are some of the learnings I have from running this project over the last 3 years and 9 months. I look forward to the 4-year anniversary. I hope it will be a happier time. Let me know how you think I will do, over the next months and coming years. If you have any suggestions, let me know. And if you find this helpful for your own journey, let me know as well. Thank you for watching and have a great day.